What's going on, guys? Make sure you pay attention in this battle because I teach you a valuable lesson in what to do when you get frozen, because I sure learned from this mistake. It was massive, massive, massive. Anyway, I got a battle here against a guy named McLovin. I forget who you are, honestly. If you're watching, just let me know, I'll fix it, but until then, you're McLovin. So he leads with his elf, and I lead with Heatran. Heatran's gonna wall his elf all day, so I decided to just set up Stealth Rock. And I'm not sure what he thought here, but I guess he predicted me to switch as he went for a flamethrower, so I just stayed in and overheated, so that's no big deal. He hangs on with the sash, I get the attack drop, that's what happens every time you use overheat. So he just decides to go boom. I know I'm going to live in explosions with Heatran more than anything else. I don't have a ghost to dodge it, but Heatran takes it alright. 110, it resists it, and it has massive defense, so that's awesome. Anyway, in comes a D-Knight, and I know that thing's going to be packing some kind of speed EVs. I go to Vaporeon when I really should not have, I should not have gone to Vaporeon. It's a special defensive wall. And I'm not sure what I was thinking here. I thought I'd just wish, and instead of protect, I could have protected and got some more lefties back, but I didn't. I figured I would live, because I did take Stealth Rock, but I took a little bit more than half, I guess. And it could have been min-max, but anyway, my Vaporeon goes down when it shouldn't have. So I know he's confused, and I know he knows that I'm Scarfed, because I think we'd played a few matches before. So he decides to switch out, and I know he's going to predict that, so I just decided to go for a cheeky little U-turn to give myself switch advantage, and that's awesome. So I go back into my Heatran, because I'm going to be faster than him, and I have HP Grass. I think he knows that I have HP Grass, because why else would I bring a Heatran into a Swampert? So he decides to switch out into his D-Knight, and I go for the Hidden Power, which is awesome. And this D-Knight's going to kill me, so I'm just deciding I'm going to fodder this Heatran. So he goes for an Ice Punch, and I actually lived it. I went for an Explosion just in case I lived whatever he did. I thought he'd go for a more powerful attack, but I guess he figured that would kill me, and he was wrong. So he loses his D-Knight, and I'm allowed to take it out, so that's awesome. In comes a Bliss, and for whatever reason, I thought maybe it would pack Ice Beam. I had no idea. This was just a lucky guess, I suppose. I get a crit on the U-turn, no big deal. I just decided to go to Scizor to resist the ice, which he actually does have, so that's an awesome switch for me then. But he actually gets the freeze. So this is where I make the completely retarded play. I decide to stay in, and he sets up a Defense Curl. Now, normally, a good Pokemon player would just switch out at this point, but I decided to stay in and let him get up to +5 defense, trying to go for a superpower, because I thought, oh, I'll just de-thaw this turn and take it out with superpower, no big deal. But apparently, I'm retarded, so do not do that, ever. Always switch out if you're frozen and someone else is stat boosting. Anyway, so I'm still frozen in here, and he's still setting up defense curls, and I still haven't learned. I thought it's a 1 in 5 chance to thaw, so I stayed in for 5. And I finally thaw, and then there's the superpower, and that's not going to even take it down to where it was before. Plus, I'm going to lose my attack and defense. So, he sets up his +6 finally. He's all set up, he's good to go. Bliss with +6 defense is impossible to take down. Literally impossible without a crit on the physical side, so that is insane. He rests up. I don't know why he has rest instead of soft boiled, but whatever. He rests, so that's okay. He's getting health back, and I decide to go into my Gira and hopefully set up some Dragon Dances of my own, because that's the only way I'm going to take it out. I got to get up to +6. I got to match his +6 and then hit him physically. So I set up a DD, and he wakes up from his rest, or he will next turn anyway. So I set up 1 DD. I think I'm going to try and get up to at least +4, and then maybe go for a Stone Edge crit, or go for a Stab Waterfall. I'm not sure yet. But he actually wakes up and Toxics me, so I'm not going to be allowed to stay in here anymore. And that really sucks, because Toxic Gira is useless if I'm trying to stat boost. So there's my 3rd DD. He's going to Ice Beam. It's not going to do anything because Bliss has terrible special attack, and Gira has alright special defense. DD again. I'm just trying to get up as high as I can, as I feel safe doing. He's ice beaming. I'm just taking them, and I think this turn I'm gonna go for a waterfall because that's it. I have to get a waterfall crit right here, or a flinch or something, so that he can't ice beam me. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So now I have two options. I can go for a Stone Edge crit, or I can taunt him so that he can't rest anymore, or for at least like 5 turns, and maybe Sizor can take it out with superpowers. Like, that's a risk that I had to take. He takes me with Ice Beam, so I'm not sure why he Ice Beamed. He could have rested, knowing that Toxic would kill me, but whatever. Anyway, in comes Sizor. My plan is just either Bullet Punch or Superpower. Superpower is super effective, and it still stabs, so I figured, why not go for Superpower? Maybe you'll get a crit. No crit there. That's okay. He Ice Beamed me again. I thought I'd... Thank God I didn't get frozen. Not very effective. Sizor's got alright special defense, so he's gonna be alright. Superpower again. Gotta go for a crit. Gotta go for a crit. I do not get the crit. I get the attack drop again, so I'm gonna have to get a crit at some point because my attack's gonna be so low by the time I'm done. So I gotta go for another crit. Gotta go for another crit. Don't get it. Because a crit would ignore all my attack drops and all of his defense boosts, so that's kind of my only chance at this point. I could have went for bullet punches, but I don't think they would have done nearly as much. And I think, but they would have been more consistent damage, but whatever. I went for superpower because it's stab, super effective. So sue me. Anyway, he's just continuing to ice beam me, and I'm just continuing to superpower. And at this point, my taunt wears off. So this is my last chance. I gotta get a crit. Gotta get a crit. And I don't get a crit, and my attack is just low enough for him to be able to rest it off, because the taunt wore off at the perfect time. Like one more superpower would have KO'd it, but whatever. Anyway, he gets all his health back, and I finally decide to switch out. And I go to Shaman, because Shaman has Leech Seed, and Leech Seed doesn't care about defense. I should have honestly done this first, because then that Sizor would have killed it easily when it was taunted, but nope, I'm just dumb. So I have it seeded. At this point, I could just try to, you know, what's that word? Yeah, heal my Sizor up a little bit, and I dodge a Toxic in the process, which is awesome, but it doesn't really matter. Shaman's a natural cure. Anyway, Sizor gets some HP back, and it actually works out so that I'm getting more HP than his Ice Beam's doing, so he decides he just wants to flat out switch, which is awesome because that gets rid of its +6. And I went for the bullet punch there, trying to do something different. And thank God he switched, because I'm not sure I would have been able to KO it, even with... because he could have rested all day long on me, and I would have run out of superpowers. I probably would have run out of bullet punches, because he could have kept ice beaming, and that just would have been awful. And I have nothing special that I can kill it with. Like, I don't have Focus Blast or anything. So anyway, I go to Shaman to scare off his Swampert, and in comes his Sizor, and I Seed Flare it. And this is an interesting Sizor. I've never seen one like this. I figured HP Fire, LOL, he'll take you down. But he surprises me with an Endure. And not only was I surprised that he was faster, but I don't know, maybe Endure has some kind of priority? I have no idea. But I'm surprised that this Sizor is faster. Like, it's not Scarfed. And there's its maybe it is priority, I don't know. I should look that up, probably. Anyway, he hits me with a reversal, and I guess my Shaman's kind of a beast because it takes a 200 power attack, which, god damn, I love that. That's awesome. Anyway, HP Fire finishes off his Sizor, and Shaman's at a fairly usable HP still. But nonetheless, I'm just gonna seed up on his Bliss, but unfortunately it missed, and that's a 5% miss, so I'm not sure what kind of luck I have, but it's not very good. Anyway, his Bliss just takes me with Ice Beam. No big deal, because now it's not +6. Sizor's going to be able to come in and easily bullet punch it to death. Which, unless he gets a freeze on Ice Beam, it should be no problem. But it turns out he doesn't even go for it. He just goes for another defense curl. So this one's pretty much in the bag, so I managed to come back, but that's because I don't know. I managed. He just luckily switched. If he stayed in with Bliss, he could have Blissey swept me. Oh man, that would have been bad. Anyway, he has a Pikachu, which is pretty awesome. This guy had awesome guys. I'm just gonna say that now. He had awesome guys. Light Ball Pikachu. Crit probably didn't need it, but it's nice anyway. I finally got my crit. Anyway, so Swampert comes in. I'm not going to kill it with Bullet Punch. He's going to take me out with an EQ. He gets a crit, actually. But that doesn't matter because Flygon's Scarfed and is going to be able to take it out. So that was a great game from this guy. And I don't really have anything to talk about after this battle because not a lot has changed. The Leafs won their games, so for all of you who read the description yesterday. So we're praying for the playoffs for them right now, anyway. So that's good. Anyway, that's it. So see you guys later.